Hey everyone, in today's video I'm going to be talking about how to upload a mandala type file into Cricut Design Space and some options that you might have if you're not provided with an SVG file. So I've been making some mandalas and uploading them over on Design Bundles, and I'll put a link down in the comments below if you want to go check those out. But today this is the file that we're going to be working with. A Happy New Year, and I'll have this uploaded for 2022 here soon. All right, so the first thing you're going to want to do is open up your Cricut Design Space, and you're going to click on New Project. Once this window opens, you can go to Upload, and then you'll click on Upload Image and Browse. Now, ideally, you've been provided an SVG file by the designer. Those are definitely the best files to work with. And if you're not sure which one is the proper file, you can hover over the file and you'll see the type is listed right there as SVG. Now, in my files, I do like to include that it's an SVG in the title because I think that helps a little bit to locate it. If you're not provided an SVG file, then you might have some PNGs, individual PNGs, and we can talk about how to use those. But in this case, we have the SVG, so I'm going to go ahead and start by clicking that and click Open. Now, it's going to upload the image here, show you an example. It's going to ask you for a name, and usually that's just default to what was already in there. If everything is good to go, you can go ahead and hit Save, and it will upload the image. And the next step here is to click on the particular image that you would like to utilize. So in this case, it's this, and we'll go to Insert Image. And you can see the image is quite large, which is great for SVG files and what you're working with. You want them to be large, but they can be made smaller or larger and still maintain their quality. So the other thing that you'll notice here is that even though we only uploaded one file, it automatically brought in all of the layers. And in this case, there are 11 layers. So the first thing we want to do is start by making this smaller. Most Cricut mats, of course, are going to be 12 by 12 approximately. So we want to start with that. The easy way to do that is with the file still selected, you can change the size over here, and you can just type in something like 10. And because this little lock icon is on by default, it's going to keep the width and the height the same. And I'll just move it over here so we can see it better. So now we also no longer have the little error message over here because the file that we're going to cut is within the range necessary for the Cricut. And you can see each of the layers here. So we can turn these off and you'll see different pieces of the design start to disappear. So they are in fact different layers. Now, once you've got it to be the right size, in theory, your SVG is designed perfectly and everything is already lined up. So the only next step here would be to click Make It. And when you click Make It, you'll see that it's got different sections here for the different colors of the file. So we had 1, 2, 3, and 4 colors, including the white, and it separated them all out for me. Then you would just go through the process and continue and cut each of those sheets. All right, so if you're given an SVG, you can see the process there is pretty simple. But if you're not given an SVG, and I'll just go ahead and delete this, you're usually going to have separate PNGs. And you're going to start that process by clicking Upload. And you're going to still go to Upload Image and Browse. And then you're going to select each of the individual PNGs. Now, this one here you might notice is also a PNG, but it will not bring in all of these layers separately. The only way to do that is with an SVG like we did the first time. So this PNG can be used as like clip art if you wanted to put it on something that you're making or show other people on the web what you're making before you make it. You could use this PNG file. So we're going to bring in each one of these 11 layers here, and you do have to do this one by one, so it's a little bit of a pain, but let's go ahead and get started. Click the file, click Open, and I do recommend simple. If it's an SVG, simple should be good enough, but you do have some other selections if you need to clean things up a bit. And this file looks really good. We can hold Control and move around here. We can click Zoom out to see the whole thing. But this one looks pretty good. There's nothing else that we need to do, so we can hit Continue. And in this scenario, we're not going to be printing this file, we just want to cut it. So we're just going to click Save as a cut image. All right, we've got our first item uploaded here. Now we'll go through and do the rest. And again, this is really why you want to have the SVG and utilize the SVG. It's much more time saving than it will be to upload each individual one of these 11 layers. But I'm just going to do it here very quickly so we can get through the process and see how to use these. I'll show you once we get in there. It is a little bit different on how you need to line them up and resize them. It's not as easy as using an SVG, but it is possible. So I'll show you what that looks like. I think the hardest part is remembering which files you've gone through and making sure not to skip any. All right, we're on number 5, just 6 more to go here. And if you're not familiar with these layered type files, a lot of people use them for cards, or they'll just print them out and use them for fun, make different little projects that they want to make. And I'm not going to cut any of this out because I do want you to see the lengthy amount of time that it takes when you try and do this one by one versus the SVG. With the SVG file, we were already done and ready to get things cutting. But with this one, not so much. All right, I think we're on the last image here, which is just that solid background. Now it will bring these in as one solid color. You can see they're all coming in as black files, but you can cut them out on any color paper you want. So that's how you get your colors. Now I'm going to go ahead and select all 11 of these. And we don't need this one because that's the SVG with everything already built in. So this is only if you're provided with PNGs. So we're going to select all 11 and we're going to insert image. And this is still a fairly large file, so it's going to take some time for it to load in. And you can see again here we've got something that is really, really large. Now automatically when it opens these, they're all selected. So the very first thing that you want to do is come up here and again change the size. So we'll stick with that 10 inches. Okay, we got that changed. And here we have just these different files. And since they're all black, it's a little bit difficult to see what they are. So, the first thing that you might want to do is go through and change the colors to whatever color you're going to cut. Technically, you don't need to do that, but it may make it a little bit easier. So I'll make this one white, and we'll make this one a blue color like we had it. We'll make this one a red color. And because of the way I uploaded these, the first layer that we want is on the bottom. So if you do want to see the whole design, you may need to reorder these. So I'll do that quickly just so we can see. Now, I have labeled mine with the order that they go in, so that should help you kind of keep things together and know where everything is. But it is definitely a helpful step when they're pre-numbered properly. And I just put this 6 in the wrong spot. There we go. All right, almost done. Let's make sure we got it. Nope, that one. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, perfect. So now we can start to see some of these come through, and I know that every other one of these is supposed to be a different color. That's the way that it looked in the picture. So I'm just going to select every other one, and I'm just going to make them yellow because that was the color I first saw. And then the next one I'll just do a light gray. Okay, So now we have all of our different layers here, and we can go through and select them again. And an easy way to do that is hold the control button on your keyboard and click each one of the layers. Now we want that to be all lined up. It just helps us see the image better. When you go to cut these out, the Cricut will, cut them out of the paper in the proper spot. So it's not really that big of a deal to line them up, but I think it does help you see everything together. So to line them up, you can select all of them, and then you're going to center horizontally and center vertically. Now, we've got this group, way down here on the page and off, kind of a little bit off. So we can select all of these again. So I accidentally clicked off of them. But we can select all of these again here, and we can move them over here. Now, they're all lined up together because I have hit align to line them all up. Another option that you have is you could select each one of these and you can change the position. So I could change all of their positions to be at 0.4. That just takes a little bit more time if you wanted to do it that way. So I prefer just highlighting them all, selecting them all, and then once you have them all selected, using the align feature. Now, when we go to cut these out, when we go to make it, just like before, we will see that Cricut has spread them out for us based on color. So we have our gray, our white, our yellow, and our blue. So again, if you have the SVG, that's definitely the way to go. If you don't have the SVG, then you can bring in the individual PNG files. If they are clear PNG files, then Cricut should be able to take them in and handle them properly. But of course, again, the SVG is recommended. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you're a pro at all of this and you have some more tips, please feel free to leave a comment down below and share those for everyone. Thanks so much for watching.